Hello everyone. We're going to go through Alex in this video, make sure you have a good understanding of what the character can do, what the character can't do, and how he can function between the matchups. One thing you have to know about Alex is that he's a really momentum based character. His attacks can inflict a large amount of stun on the opponent, and he has some mix-ups. I mean, he's not Chun-Li, but he has some mix-ups that he can use to make sure that the stun is inflicted, and once the stun is inflicted, the opponent's already dead. The thing is that you have to switch between defense and offense in a very careful way. You have to play defense to figure out the opponent at first, his patterns, what he does, his habits, and so on and so forth. But once you see those, you have to fully utilize the parry in this game, especially the air parry, because that will grant you the most reward. So, let's start with his jab. Standard jab, 4 frames, startup, a +1 on block. And that's the only advantage of the jab, because the medium punch is also 4 frames on startup, but it's -1 on block. That's not a terrible disadvantage. However, the jab can be whiff cancelled into something else, but that's a super specific technique about the Kazuya bomb. Somehow difficult input. I personally don't use it myself. I should use it, but it's not needed personally. But as I said, in general, with Alex you want to go for chunkiness, so I wouldn't use neither of those, neither the far light punch or the close jab. Neither of those. You want to go with medium punch, as it can be cancelable to your normals. You can't combo into much stuff from the jab. You can do jab EX knee, but that's about it, or jab, crouching jab, EX knee. The medium, however, can go into EX slash, which is way better. Still, this is your primary anti-air as well, and the only reason for that is because it's cancelable to the EX knee. So if they jump at you and you parry their attack, you can do this to EX knee, or if they parry that and try to attack, you can go directly into EX knee and just grab them throughout their attack. This is one of the mix-up overheads that he has. I use it sometimes, but it would be better to go for the universal overhead. If you can land it in a really meaty way, it can combo into Super Art 2 as well. Light kick, pretty standard light kick, not much to explain. Good for checking, good for stopping, but still, medium punch is your best friend. And medium kick is your best friend, but we're gonna go into that later. Heavy kick, the big boot, it's easily parryable. It can be used in some corner setup situations where you have conditioned the opponent to reversal you. You can just stomp them. It can also grant juggle points if you hit someone airborne with that, but that's super rare. And the optimal juggle requires you to be holding back so that you can follow up with an elbow. So still, the flashy move, the big boot, not so much used just when you want to send a message to the opponent. Close medium punch is the same. As I said, one of his best tools, really chunky. For example, does almost as much damage as his hook fierce, the overhead that we just saw. Does like 4 less damage. Crouching heavy punch, you don't want to use that often. It seems like a good anti-air, but you tend to go under and behind the other character. However, if you land only the first hit, you can combo into an EX knee from that. And there's a setup for that. If you do a heavy elbow and it hits in the corner, and then you do this, it's guaranteed to do one hit, because the distance on when it's one hit or two hits is really weird. This is the only setup I have found out myself to be working. This is an amazing tool because this is your primary low, along with the crouching medium kick. They can combo into one another, crouching light kick to crouching medium kick. I think it's a 2-frame link, however. It's a good pressure tool, but the thing you can do is that on an opponent, when he wakes up, you can do a crouching light kick to a light power bomb. And the way you do that is you press down light kick, you let neutral, and then you input the power bomb. If it hits the opponent, it still works. That's the amazing thing about it. It can still grab the opponent if the light kick hits, because usually the case for tick grabs in a way is that they don't work if the opponent takes the low hit. Crouching medium kick, a little slower version, however it can be really useful, but nothing compares to the far medium kick, which I failed to mention before. This is one of your primary zoning tools because of Alex has really good reach on that. You can use that to bait a reaction from the opponent, to play footsies with him. Make sure you keep him in check, make sure to make him jump at you, which we went through how we can counter that situation. Standard sweep and safe at close range, okay from far. It can be okay to use at times, but there's better tools to go with. So regarding jumping now, jumping normals. This can be a good setup for a power bomb. It has good active frames, even on block you can do that to get some distance downwards in the downwards angle. However, if I want to go for a power bomb after a jump in, I would definitely go for the light kick version. It leaves you closer, it's even more active than the light punch. It's really good. Jumping medium punch. This is a tricky one because you see it and you go, oh, this is an air to air. Yes, it's one of the good air to airs. However, there's better ones. But the thing with that is that it recovers super quickly once you hit the ground. And the thing you can do with that is that you can jump with a medium punch, and the frame you land, you just do a power bomb. Like, the recovery is insane on that. It recovers super quickly. Jumping medium kick is one of the get out of my face kind of tools Alex has. You can jump back and do it. You can jump forward and do it, also good air to air, really good reach. You can also jump into the opponent and do it, but I wouldn't recommend that. Really good air keep away. You can see that it has a sort of, how do you call that move? Rugal's move. Genocide cutter, that it has a similar like motion but in the air. Jumping heavy kick for the good chunk. Really good air to air. You can see it comes out fast, it has a lot of range, and it can make the opponent land in a distance where if you dash, you are in their face again, especially in the corner. There is little distance to be covered. Even if it hits mid-screen in the air or something, you can always dash from that. Jumping heavy punch, however, this is my primary jumping tool. Really chunky, super chunky, deals very good damage, very good stun. But as all jump-ins in third strike, they can be parried, so you have to make sure to mix that up for like an empty jump, or an empty jump low or an empty jump grab. We'll go into this later when we're talking about strategies. Special normals. This can be used to check the opponent. It has the same use as standing medium kick, however it can also serve as a good anti-air due to the downwards chopping motion that covers upwards to his middle. It's a really good button. This one you mainly use for two things. Either a corner reset after a juggle. You use this to reset them after if you jump and hold and press down heavy punch, he goes into a dive, and then you can reset them with that. And when they land in front of you and you have an advantage, so you can go for whatever they want. We'll go into the mix-ups later about that in the corner. It doesn't seem to load for some reason. Yeah, there we go, the power bomb. You usually want to go for the light version since it has better range. It's generally more safe even if you whiff. Heavy one even leaves the opponent too far. You have to elbow your way in, and it's usually unsafe. However, you can see that if it misses, it leaves you wide open. So it would be good to use after a parry or for a mix-up, or just dash to their face and do it if you can sense that they're scared to press buttons. This is the stomp. Very like cheesy tool because you can mix them up in the corner. You can either go in front of them with a light stomp or behind them with a medium stomp. It even works mid-screen. You can keep either crossing them up or hitting them in the front with by variating between light and medium. And one of the most important things for me personally, for my playstyle, is the air knee. The thing about the air knee is that it can be parried, however it is a really good anti-air. It can be it can be comboed into from standing medium punch. However, if they are grounded, the EX knee is what you're going to go at. Like medium punch, EX knee works grounded, works even if the opponent jumps at you. You anti-air them with medium punch and you go into EX knee directly. Really good move. EX knee is also Alex's reversal of some sort. Since it can hit grounded opponents, you can use it as a reversal to get out of sticky situations, but I would just recommend holding down back, or even the more risky thing, going for a parry. What else is there? The famous elbow. Most times after a combo that ends usually in EX slash, you want to whiff a medium punch and do a light elbow to approach them again for maximum meter build while covering distance and getting into the opponent's face again. EX elbow, one of my favorite moves in the game. You just dashing the opponent super fast. It's safe. Also, I'm pretty sure it's safe. I haven't been punished by using it. It can be red parried because it's 2 hits, but no one will do that. I mean, if someone red parries you with these 2 hits, they sort of deserve the victory. They're really good if they do the red parry on this. Normally I go for the light version only since it recovers super quickly and it's your best bet. The heavy version, just too much travel time. No bueno. What else do we have? Is this the DDT? If and when it loads. No, let's go into the slash. So the slash. Light version. No. I wouldn't use it. I don't use it. No reason to. You can always parry the fireball. You don't need to cut the fireball. Medium version, however, you can combo into after that because it leaves them back turned to you, and there's the ways you can combo off of that is you can go for a super, you can go for a power bomb that Alex has a special animation for that. You can go medium punch to EX elbow to the first hit of EX elbow to super R2. You can do many things from that. You can mix them up in various ways. The heavy version leaves them back turned to you as well. The mix-up is just the timing is different. The heavy is much slower than the medium one, So they might want to go for a medium parry, and you have pressed the heavy and it hits them. You can see a lot of Alex whiffing that move for meter building and catching opponents off guard, but I prefer to use his normal tools, as I mentioned before. Um, Now the DDT. There we go, yeah. The DDT is considered maybe quite possibly the worst move of Alex. However, I truly believe that there is an application for everything. No move is completely useless, because even if a move is infamous for being useless, throwing it at the opponent might make him think, stuff outside of the fighting game about the move's frame data, the moves, how unsafe it is, and stuff like that, and that's distractions, and that's exactly what we need with Alex for that momentum heavy gameplay that he has to go in for the chunky damage. So the setups I found for DDT is that you either do a light kick, a standing light kick to a light DDT, or a standing medium kick to a medium DDT. The thing is, I used to jump at a friend of mine, my sparring partner, shoutouts to V+. I used to jump at him with jumping fierce, and then he would red parry the standing medium kick. So to counter that, I did on purpose jumping heavy punch, standing medium kick, DDT, and it worked. As I said, no move is useless. You have to learn to apply everything, every tool your character has in a fighting game, and you have to really make sure that you form a style, you make that character work, no matter what the frame data says or anything. So let's go into his throw now. My favorite thing in the game, Alex's throw. Super good, super fast, one of the best throws in the game. You can even see Kuroda doing that move so much. Even though it's a normal grab, it can be decked, and like the power bomb, it just works. It just works, it's amazing. The thing about it is that you can do Kara range with this. So if you press Kara, means add extra range to a thing by using a normal that advances you forward and then cancelling it into something else. You can do Kara EX elbow with this, which gives it much more range because the EX elbow doesn't go full screen. If you Kara EX elbow, it goes full screen with that. But Kara grab is just perfection, it's amazing. Just Kara grab the opponent all day, and then they start pressing buttons, and that's what you want. Universal overheads right here. Yeah, it can combo into Super R2, super good universal overhead, because his other option is this, and it's too seeable, it can easily be parried. This works most of the times. You can go really meaty with that, and by meaty I mean do it as the opponent is waking up in a way that you end the hitbox ends as deep as possible in the opponent's hurtbox, and it can allow some pretty whack stuff from that. This I also use a lot. It is a hit grab, it can be parried, and it is for me personally, it makes for a mix-up situation after that, because you hit them and they get hit on the head and they get knocked back. So if you do an EX elbow afterwards, it will most likely catch any button that they press, retaliation. And if they sense that and they say that they will jump in anticipation of that, you go for the air knee, the DB motion kicks. It sort of creates a mix-up, and if they just stand there and block, you can do dash Kara grab or dash power bomb or dash parry. If they try to retaliate, the possibilities are endless. This creates a good advantage for Alex to build on his momentum based gameplay. And if you catch an opponent back turned, You can mash that for more damage and make it harder for the opponent to break. You can combo into Super R2 for that in the corner, but the timing is super strict. I never go for it myself, I just go for another mix-up. Possibly something including the close medium kick, one of the best tools, or the far medium kick or the medium punch. So super arts, let's go to super arts now. Regarding super arts, this is just a stylish one. It doesn't give you much EX meter, which is, as I said, Alex is super momentum based. You need as much EX as possible, which makes picking Super R2 all the way against every character except for Oro. We'll go into that later. So as I said, Flash is Super Art 1. If you do a medium or a heavy slash and do that afterwards, it has a special animation where he rolls that multiple times. Maybe it even has that here. Yes, it's failing to load. Maybe if I press somewhere else. Okay, I'll just refresh the page. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So if you catch them back turn, it goes into this. But still, Flash is super, not much use of it. However, what you want to go for is this one, the Boomerang Raid. It gives you the most EX meter. You can combo into it from so much stuff. For example, light kick into it, it works. Just do quarter circle forward kick, light kick, quarter circle forward punch, and light kick into that works. Medium punch into that works. Medium kick into that works, the close version of medium kick, mind you. You can also combo off of it out Alex's B&B, which is medium punch or medium kick close, EX slash. The second hit of EX slash you can cancel into that, and it does an absurd amount of damage as stun. For example, you can be jumping in a lot at the opponent, and that one time you will hit jumping fierce, standing medium kick, EX flash to super, and the damage and the stun are absurd. They're like over 50% in both health and stun. They're pretty good. I mentioned now Super Art 3. You never use that because the opponent can just jump over it. However, there is only one matchup that I use it personally, and it's against Oro, because he can do the chicken legs, whatever it's called, and he has a lot of recovery time that he basically hops to the other end of the screen. You can catch him with that and deliver a severe punishment on him. Only use this on Oro. Anything else, Boomerang Raid's your best friend, gives you a ton of EX to work with. Yeah, so now that we're done with the normals, as I said, you must play defensively and aggressively with Alex. He has some decent, not just decent, he's really good at the mid-range with things like far medium kick, forward medium punch, standing medium punch. You can go for some, you can dash in and grab them, as I said, and Karo grab them, even better, power bomb. But you have to understand when to attack with Alex. You can be really punished if you just try to go all out with Alex. He's really strong in terms of damage and stun, but he's not the fastest type. He's not the fast type, which means you have to really figure out the opponent before going in. And once that happens, if they fail to get a defensive answer to your quote-unquote questions, your attacks, they're in for the world of hurt. insane damage, insane stun, can come back very quickly. Like a few wrong guesses and you're dead. That's usually the case with grapplers in fighting games. A few wrong guesses and you're done. Just you must kill them quickly. Don't give them the opportunity to come back. Alex with meter is a beast, as I said, due to the EX elbow being safe and just EX slash chopping through so much stuff. However, as I have mentioned before, you have to use his normal tools a lot as well, and at the very um, specific timings. You don't press a lot of buttons with Alex, as in most Street Fighter games. Down back is your, I would say in every Street Fighter game, down back is your best friend. Just down back. It's not Tekken, it blocks mids. Just down back a lot with Alex. Make sure to figure out the pattern before going in, and you'll figure out the rest. Regarding combos, you can find a lot of combo videos on YouTube about that. However, the B&B one is just close, medium punch or medium kick into EX slash or EX elbow if you're buffering. Like every Street Fighter combo, you can add the jump in the beginning for extra damage. You can find a lot of videos. This is the combo I mainly use. Sometimes I go for crouching light kick to crouching medium kick, but that's rare. In general, Alex is not a combo based character. You can just chip the opponent before going in. Just use your normals a lot and some EX, and that's about it. Not a lot of combos going on here. You just got to have the concept of momentum in your head and go for that. So about approaching the opponent, for example, let's say you're playing against Ryu. The thing with this game is that you can parry in the air, which creates multiple layers of mix-ups. And what I mean by that is, in older games, you jump, the opponent does a shoryu, his reward for being able to identify a jump from you and having the mental capacity to perform the shoryu motion at the precise time and hit you was his reward. However, in Third Strike there are layers with that. There are empty jumps, and what I mean by that is, if the opponent's super good at giving you anti-airs, you can jump and do nothing until you see him anti-air. Then you can parry his anti-air attempt and go in for a full combo. These are the layers of Third Strike and what make it an amazing game. That you don't just jump in the opponent's shoryus and it resets back to neutral. There is so many things you can do with a jump, and of course your mix-up is just attacking sometimes, or just parrying the opponent's anti-air attempt and then attacking, which, as I said, really benefits Alex. Very high damage, very high stun. You gain the momentum after that. You want to go for parries. You can block a lot, but the parries give you that extra edge you need. If you see the Kuroda's DVD on Alex in Third Strike, you can see that he jumps so much, because if he attacks, okay, the opponent may parry it, yeah, but if the opponent anti-airs, which is a usual habit, a healthy habit even, and Kuroda parried that, it would just go for this chunky damage I said before. Or you could just do an empty jump and grab if they're afraid, Karo grab even better. That's the usual approach to it. There's many corner situations that benefit Alex as well, like pressuring them with a close medium kick to an elbow, or if you expect a jump out of the corner, you can medium punch into EXT and get back in the corner. Also, if you expect the jump out of the corner, you can jump in the air and do down heavy punch. I don't know why I can't find that here, honestly. There it is. So this, if you expect the opponent to jump out of the corner, you can do this to sort of catch them in the air and knock them back into the corner, and it gives you a juggle point, which for that you want to use this to reset them as it does the most damage, and then they slowly start falling into the ground while you're standing. You are in a great advantage after this. The setups I use after that is either crouching light kick to power bomb, medium kick to EX slash for medium, simple power bomb, or medium kick to medium DDT, or light kick to light DDT, or just block, which is my favorite option, expecting the opponent to be frustrated and throw out a reversal, something unsafe. It's the best scenario for Alex. Mid screen, as I said, you can try to poke a lot with far medium kick and forward medium punch and standing heavy punch. Sometimes you can even throw the boot out, hoping to catch somebody in the air, and while you're doing that you gotta hold back so that you can elbow after the juggle. And yeah, that's about it for Alex. Figure out your strategies, let me know what you think of the guide, since this is my first guide, and I'll see you guys around. Peace!